Okay, here we are back again with more Dragon Age Origins, and I think we're finally ready to leave Lothering. I think we're done with everything we need to do in Lothering. So, I think we're gonna head out. Let's head out. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, Bodan, Fedek, and Standal, whom we just saved from a Darkspawn attack. Goodbye. Ooh. Oh dear. Well, that's creepy.
Bad dreams, huh?
It seems so real.
Well, it is real. Sort of. You see,
Oh, good.
part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon, is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Thank you, Alistair. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Or we could stay at our party camp for a little bit, cause look at all this party camp. Oh, I still got Barkspawn as a as a summoned. Okay, sure, why not? My gosh, we have a lot of stuff to do. And lots of people to talk to. I wanted to see if I can equip Stan with some stuff. A great sword. He's a two-handed. And yeah, this is probably good to start with. I guess I don't have a heavy helm right now. I just have a light one, but okay. But that's something. I might give this to... This is probably good for Alistair to have, actually. So, yeah. There we go. Okay. And then we got a bunch of people to talk to. Let's talk to Barkspawn.
Oh, why, you little...
What? Why?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he's a war dog. He's not. You shouldn't come near his food. Like, what were you doing near his food?
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Like, you're not supposed to touch his... Why were you touching his food in the first place? I don't understand.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fedek, at your service once again. I saw your camp and remembered the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not.
Fair
I'm
enough.
perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Sure. What are you selling exactly?
Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with enchantments. Oh, yes. Sadly, it also makes us a target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago.
Okay, sure. Let me see your wares, Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm gonna go ahead and probably get rid of these. And get rid of that, get rid of that, rid of that. Don't need any of those. It's an okay sword. The thing with these, most of these, is that, like, pretty much everything you sell to Bodan stays in Bodan's inventory. And you can get it, you can buy it back pretty much anytime you want. So, yeah. Let's get this backpack. I will probably, I think it's amethysts that there's a quest for eventually. And I can buy these back eventually too, so that should be okay. So I have some gifts as well. Oh, let's talk to Sandal.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
And there you have it.
Okay, I want some enchanting done.
Enchantment.
I mean, we'll at least look at it. Right, we have this sword. And we have some nice runes here. I like lightning runes, actually. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now we also have some gifts. And certain gifts are good for certain people. It just sort of depends. Different characters like different things and have different preferences. For instance, this bronze symbol of Andraste is a really good gift for Liliana because she likes religious things. She likes religious gifts because she's obviously a very pious person. So anything that's super religious, she tends to really like. So we'll give that to her.
That's a wonderful
And that gives
I don't know
you
what to say.
plus 10 approval. And you do get eventually diminishing returns with gifts, so eventually you sort of get to a point where you're only getting like 1 approval for every gift that you give. But they can be nice to boost your approval numbers with a little bit. I think Morrigan likes this golden rope necklace. Morrigan kind of is a bit of a magpie. She likes shiny jewelry.
I am
Yeah.
grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
These I think are just generic gifts. The small carved statuette is, I believe, for Alistair. Alistair likes, basically action figures, toys, statuettes, things like that.
I could get used to this, you know.
So that's what those do. I don't have anything that Sten likes yet. Sten is kind of an odd duck, but and these are Forrest's character we don't have yet. So let's save that, because we got some nice little approval boosts there, and we'll just talk to people now. Actually, let's talk to Morgan first. We'll just start with Morgan, kind of go around the circle. Hi, Morgan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Korkari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive.
Fair
I
enough.
played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching? Like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Yet here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Morgan approves +5. Where are we at with her? Still neutral. Okay. Good talk. Good talk. Let's try Sten. I haven't really talked much to Sten yet.
Why are we stopping?
I think we should talk for a moment.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen the Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
You said you were in the army.
I am.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, human.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
So the Kunari don't come from the islands?
We do now.
Where did you come from before?
Somewhere else.
Can you be more specific?
No. I was born in Saharan. Of the land we came from, I know nothing, not even its name. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Okay, we should get moving.
As you wish.
Good talk, Sten. Thanks. Good. Alright. Well, first approval change for Sten, and it was a +2, so I guess that's a start, right? That's a start, I guess. Okay. Sure. Liliana.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Good. Yeah, this vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
You dreamed of the Blight?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Well, the Chantry says the Maker has left us. I think this would be an interesting point of contention for Ariadne. Like, I'm not sure that she necessarily buys it all, but she's been taught a certain way all of her life, and so this is taking her a little bit off kilter.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
I guess believe what feels right to you, Liliana.
Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees. I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
I mean, sure, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I don't think Ariadne is a particularly staunch, like, pro-Chantry person, necessarily. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Okay, let's talk to Alistair. What do you got to say?
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Well, I just thought you... I just thought you might need to talk.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
He had you.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
No, I understand completely.
Of course. I'd be dead then, wouldn't I?
Yeah, probably.
It's not like that would make him happy.
No.
I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
No, not really. Not since I went to the tower.
That must have felt a lot like when I got sent to the Chantry.
Yeah, probably.
You mages don't even get a say in the matter, after all.
Yeah, true.
Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Maybe I'll go to High Ever with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
Yeah, +5. Alright. Alistair's generally pretty easy to get approval up. Sten is a little bit prickly. Morrigan can be a little bit prickly. Liliana, it depends on how you... Liliana kind of depends on how you respond to her religious stuff. If you respond with sarcasm or skepticism to her religious stuff, she tends to not like you quite as much. But as long as you're okay about the religious stuff, she's pretty easy to get along with. And Alistair's generally very easygoing. Like, unless you're a complete jackass, you're probably gonna become good friends with Alistair pretty quickly. Okay, so let's talk to this guy. This guy is our DLC guy, and he has some stuff for us to do.
You're a hard woman to find.
I am.
Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the Coins? Levy the Trader?
I'm Ariadne. I have never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years.
Look, I only knew the guy for
Here
like
I
3
am
weeks,
carrying
so...
on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
What promise did Duncan... Yeah, how did you know Duncan?
It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden. Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
Go ahead and tell your tale.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch, and he let them in.
Go on, I'm listening.
So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the king. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest state of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age, and struck up a friendship. The king himself went with the Wardens on their mysterious business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardlan's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good.
This story that Levy's telling is the plot of the second prequel novel, which is called The Calling, I believe. The first prequel novel is called The Stolen Throne. The Stolen Throne is about Marek and Loghain and their friendship and how they worked together to overthrow Orlesian rule in Ferelden and got Marek's throne back. And The Calling is about Marek going on an adventure with some Grey Wardens, which is what Levy's talking about here, including Duncan. Duncan went along on that little adventure. Let's see here. Okay, why were the Grey Wardens cast out by Arland?
People say it's because the Wardens have become terribly unpopular. Just soaking up tires and not doing a bleeding thing for the kingdom. I say that's bollocks, as recent events have shown.
Marek rescinded the decree just like that?
Marek was a bit of a visionary. A powerful mind, that one. In his travels with the Wardens, he must have seen how important their cause was, and been moved by it.
I doubt that's the full story.
There was some talk at court that he did it to improve relations with Orzammar. That might have factored into it. But make no mistake, King Marek was a giant among men.
Duncan was an easy man to like, yeah, he was.
That he was.
I thank you for your part in bringing the Wardens here.
Oh, his stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome.
So what promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arlen banished the wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arlen died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the Blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
I've never even heard of Soldier's Peak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
How will reclaiming the peak help the Wardens?
Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost Warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new Wardens and meeting with good King Cailan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
Well, your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, we're at about time, so I think we'll leave it here. And, in the next episode... I think the next episode we might go through some codex. So yeah, as always, if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later!